Welcome to Permission to Thrive. I'm your host, Suzi Lula. As a spiritual therapist for over 20 years, I have the honor and privilege of ushering women and mothers just like you on a journey from simply surviving to powerfully thriving. I also have the honor of raising our son, Will, who is now a young adult, with my longtime partner, Jamie, so I'm right there on the journey with you. Consider this your personal sanctuary, your space to meet your heart, embrace your messy, and come home to your most authentic, extraordinary self. My hope is that you leave resourced and inspired because you are here to shine. Welcome to Permission to Thrive. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Permission to Thrive. This week, we are talking about manifesting, and specifically manifesting from your soul. So I've come, as many of you know, from a pretty dysfunctional family, a pretty dysfunctional childhood past, and I've still been able to create a truly thriving life. A relationship with myself where I truly love and like myself, who I am. I live in a judgment-free consciousness. I have been able to create a really truly thriving marriage, a thriving parenting experience with my young adult son, Will. I have been able to create a really thriving career and practice. I'm an author. I have students and clients in a really thriving practice and coaching certification program, a truly rich, thriving life. And what I know is that if I can do this, you can do this. As many of you also know, 3 years ago, I started a Soul Psychology Academy where I certify coaches in the study and the practice and the art of spiritual psychology. And we meet once a week in a class called Mastery. And today I was teaching a class on manifestation, and specifically, as I said, manifesting from the soul. And after class, I got so many texts, emails, DMs, WhatsApp messages that I knew that this is a topic that is igniting something in the soul, something creative, something that is prompting a calling within these beautiful coaches. And I knew that I wanted to share it with all of you. So sit back, relax, receive all that is here for you around this great, powerful, and empowering topic around manifesting, but manifesting in a very particular way, manifesting from the soul. So because I have learned to manifest not from the physical, not from efforting, not from the masculine, like we are all taught, but from an effortless, feminine, graceful way of manifestation that comes from manifesting from the soul, from the feminine. So as I go through and teach you the steps that I use to manifest a thriving life in a pretty effortless way, I want you to begin to ask yourself as you're listening, what is it in your life that is really calling you? What is it that you are interested in manifesting? Perhaps it is a deeper sense of love and connection in your relationships, maybe with one of your children, maybe with a spouse, maybe you are looking for more soul satisfying work, maybe a new career, maybe it's deeper connections and community and friendships, maybe it's something around finance or your body. Whatever it is that is calling you, get in touch with that now as you're listening. Use the steps that I'm going to be outlining and going through, and use them for the thing that is calling you in your life. And then you can come back and watch and listen to this episode over and over and over again and apply it to different areas of your life. But what is for sure is that the manifestation process can be the same for all the different areas of your life. And it also truly can come from the feminine, can come from a relaxed way of being, can come in an effortless way, especially when you learn to manifest from the soul. So what in the world do I mean by that in the first place? So we are taught to manifest from the senses. We're taught to manifest from what we can see, hear, taste, feel, and smell. So in other words, if you are interested in manifesting more love in your life, we're taught, look for that relationship. If you are interested in manifesting more money, we're taught, look at a job, look at your bank account. So we're taught to look towards the physical, the senses, what we can see in front of us. Manifesting from the soul is connecting yourself with that which is invisible and becoming so connected to the invisible. Getting to know the soul right now is full of peace and calm and joy and connection and abundance, prosperity, inspiration, creativity, wealth, abundance, infinite potentiality, infinite possibilities. Your soul right now is always at peace. You know exactly who you are. Your soul knows that you are worthy, that you are whole, that you are enough. In fact, your soul knows that you are more than enough. Your soul knows that there is nothing you can ever get, nothing this world could ever give you that will make you more worthy, that will make you more enough, that will make you more valuable or valid than you are right in this moment. So the first thing about manifesting from the soul, manifesting in an effortless way, manifesting from the feminine, is to get to know your soul. So your soul is invisible. None of us can see our soul. We can't see each other's soul, but we can feel each other's soul. You can feel the compassion that might be activated in somebody's soul. Compassion is invisible, but it's a feeling and it's so real. You might feel your own sensitivity or your own generosity or the generosity of someone else in your life. Now, generosity can be expressed and experienced through this physical world, but generosity begins in the invisible. And that's the same with love and joy and creativity, abundance, prosperity. We can see abundance and prosperity expressed and experienced through the physical 3D world, but it begins on the invisible. And when you can really begin to understand that the manifestation process is really about getting to know the invisible qualities that you are seeking more of. If you are seeking more connection and intimacy, closeness in your relationships, compassion, less judgment, if you are interested in manifesting more wealth, more health, all of this starts in the invisible. What I have been really successful in doing is simply focusing, I would say 98% of my energy goes to getting to know my consciousness. Because again, consciousness, it's invisible. We can feel each other's consciousness. You can feel whether someone is angry or constricted, upset, protected, armored up. You can feel when someone is undefended, open, generous, giving, lighthearted. You can feel these invisible qualities, but you're feeling an energy that is invisible. And so when you commit and dedicate yourself to getting to know the invisible qualities more than you're interested in the physical results, more than you're interested in the relationship, in the bank account, in some physical house that you want to manifest. Why is this so important? When you dedicate 98% of your energetic investment and interest into those invisible qualities, there is a law that of this universe that says the external world is a reflection of your internal world. That is a law of the universe, just like gravity is a law of the universe. So none of us doubts that when we stand up from our chairs, that gravity is going to hold us down. But few of us are taught that your outer world is simply a reflection of your inner world. And so when you create the wealthiest inner world, the richest inner world, the healthiest inner world, the most loving inner world that you possibly can, then the outer world is going to reflect the richness of joy, the richness of creativity, the richness of abundance that you have gotten to know and that you have enveloped and embodied in your inner world. So I began practicing at 98% of my interest, my curiosity was with the invisible. I wanted to create the most loving inner consciousness, the most joyful inner consciousness, the safest inner consciousness with the least amount of judgment. I wanted to fall in love with myself. And almost more than that, I wanted to fall in like within myself. And when you like yourself, when you connect with what your soul already knows, that you are lovable exactly as you are, that you are enough exactly as you are. If nothing else ever changes in your physical life, and you know yourself to be enough exactly as you are right now in this moment, you will never experience lack again. So I'm going to say that to you again because that's a big concept. Your soul right now knows that you are more than enough. Your soul knows that no matter what you create and manifest and experience in this world, you will never be more enough than you are right now. Yes, you may be more comfortable manifesting more in your life. You may be more comfortable, but you will never be more enough. You will never be more worthy. You will never be more valuable. You are as valuable now. Your soul knows this in the invisible, in your consciousness. And when you know this, and when you step into this, and when you embody this, that you will never be more enough. You are as enough because you are more than enough now. You will then never experience lack again in your life. So if you listen to no further in this episode, just take that as a takeaway. That your soul knows that you are abundant. Your soul knows that you are prosperous. Now, how do we know this? I can prove it to you. Just think of yourself. You are in a body right now. But before you were physically born from your mother's womb, you were a spirit. You were a spirit. You were energy without a body. And then you went through a gestation period in a womb, like all of us do. And when you were born onto this physical plane, you were lying on a bed, naked. You couldn't roll over, crawl, walk, run, read, speak. You were lying in your beingness. And you brought joy to people around you. When you look at a newborn, we all feel that sense of awe and wonder because birth, it's such a transcendent experience. And so you were born enough. You were lying on a bed. You were more than enough. And you knew that you were more than enough. At some point in your consciousness, you knew, I am enough. Just as I am, not by doing anything, not by earning anything, but my being is enough. And then life happened, and our unconscious mind so open that the different life experiences that happened, we were bullied, we were yelled at, we were abused, we experienced trauma, someone judged us. All of these different experiences went into our subconscious and we forget. But the soul remembers, the soul knows right now, you're enough, you are worthy, you are valuable, you are more than enough, you are creative, you are inspired, you are abundant, prosperous, whole. When you know this, you will never need anything from the outer world. You will desire things from the outer world, but you won't need them. When you know right now that you are enough, you may want to create work that is meaningful to you. You may want to earn a great living. You may want to have a lot of money. You may want to live in a particular neighborhood, in a particular style of home, but you don't need it because you're in touch in your soul that you already are enough, and you already are worthy, and you already are valuable, and you already matter. So these are the things that we think the outer world will bring to us. But when you can come into the connection that you already are those things, and then, my friends, connect with the feeling. So now I want you to become aware that your soul knows all that you are right now. And now B, become aware of the feeling that happens inside of you when you are willing to embody the knowing that you are valuable exactly as you are right now, that you are lovable exactly as you are right now, that you need change nothing. You don't need to be more thin. You don't need to be younger. You don't need to have a different color skin. You don't need more education. You don't need anything to be more valuable, to be more lovable. And this is the distinction between need and desire, need and want. When you think that you need something in order to then be valuable, be worthy, be successful, when you think you need something, you will be in a perpetual state of lack. Because until you get that, you will find yourself in lack. And then once you get it, you will need more of it to sustain this temporary feeling. And so you want to segregate yourself. You want to cut the energetic cords. You want to cut the energetic ties to needing anything from the outside world to bring you anything internally. You want to switch that paradigm around, and you want to know that you already have this within your soul, and then anything else is extra, and everything else is extra. So I created an inner relationship with myself where I truly loved myself. I truly like who I am. And I like myself so much, whether I'm alone or whether I'm in a relationship. And so I didn't need this relationship with Jamie. I desire it, I love it, but if it evaporates tomorrow, what I have is the liking and the loving of myself. And the liking and the loving of myself keeps me in an expansive state of consciousness, and that keeps more of the manifestation coming to me. And if it's not Jamie, it will be someone else. It will be something else. It will be a different form. It will be a different way. And so that is the next part about manifesting from the feminine, manifesting effortlessly, is not to be attached to the way it comes to you or the way you think it needs to look. All of these are very feminine qualities. The soul is a very being quality. A being quality is a feminine quality. The way of knowing yourself and falling in love with yourself and falling in like with yourself and seeing that you have everything that you need. All of this is feminine. All of this is being. All of this is effortless. It has taken us no effort so far to embody what it is that we're speaking of right now. Now, when you get to this point and you're feeling abundant and prosperous and you love yourself and you like yourself and you feel and you are connected with what it is that your soul knows about your validity and that you matter and that you are lovable, when you are in this feeling, you feel expansive. You feel that you are in a flow. You feel that there are infinite possibilities around you, infinite potential within you. You feel this expansive feeling. And now you will be prompted by your soul to take some actions. Of course, we are manifesting, we are taking something from the invisible, and our body is the vessel. And through the body, through the consciousness, we are making the invisible visible. So if you are wanting to experience more wealth, experience more health, after you get in this feeling of expansion, you are going to be prompted to take some actions. So let's say one of the actions you're feeling prompted to make, oh, I'm seeking more health. Oh, I'm going to take actions that align with health. How does a healthy person act? What does a healthy person eat? How do they move their bodies? If you are manifesting more wealth, how does a wealthy person act? What does a wealthy person do? When you begin to connect, your soul will prompt you into different actions. And here's where it gets really great, because sometimes you may find yourself simultaneously prompted. I know I'm supposed to take that action, but my limited mind, my conditioned mind, not the soul of you, but the mind of you that's been conditioned, it might tell you, no, 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 don't go do that. Don't go do that. So you are being prompted by the soul, but the conditioned mind is limiting you and trying to stop you. When this happens, you want to say thank you. This is a very important part of the manifestation process. So I'll give you an example, simple example. I've been traveling. I've been in New York with my son, Will, for a couple of weeks, came home. Yesterday, I had devoted the day to catching up on some work that I had to do. And middle of the day, spontaneously, Jamie walks into my office and he says, Lovey, let's go to the beach. Let's just get out of the house, get out of this environment, go to the beach, take a walk. We call them long walks and deep talks, or we call them walk and talks. And we talk about our intentions and our gratitudes and our visions. And he said, let's go take a walk. Let's go do this at the beach. My soul immediately said yes, that I knew that if I went to the beach, I would come home and I would get twice as much done in half amount of time. So my soul said yes, and my limited, conditioned mind said, no way. The list of things that I had to do felt too big to then go take a portion of my day at the beach. So I had one of those simultaneous moments where I had a guidance, I had an expansive feeling, I knew to go do that, and my mind was constricted and it was pulling me back and it was saying, no, 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 if you go do that, you're going to be behind. You're not going to get everything checked off. You're going to have too much later. It was just continuous train of conditioned, limited thoughts. But I know enough to be obedient to my soul. It was the same thing when I was in New York. I was planning on being there a week, and then I felt this prompting to stay an extra week. And the mind thought I needed to get back. The soul knew that prompting, stay an extra week. The experience I would have with Will, the way that my heart would expand, that life experience, that intimacy, that connection, that way of being of service to him, I knew it would enrich my life. I've learned enough to know to be obedient to my soul. So I stayed the extra week and I went to the beach yesterday. And in fact, we went to the beach again today. Because when you follow the promptings of your heart, you follow the promptings of your soul, you expand. My point, though, is that when you feel that simultaneous feeling, and it comes also from the constriction and the restriction and the conditioning and the limitation of the mind, of all that you have been conditioned and trained to think about yourself, it is going to take an act of courage to break through. Why is that so important? Because when we are manifesting, we are seeking to go from the level of consciousness and the level of physical manifestation that we have now, we're seeking to go to our next level of consciousness. And if there wasn't material in your unconscious that you needed to break through, the old needs to die away so that there's space in your consciousness to step into the new. So when those limiting thoughts come up in my mind, I say thank you. I say thank you because, oh, universe, thank you. You are showing me. You are literally showing me through these thoughts what is still housed in my unconscious, in my subconscious. I call it the survival self. We all have a survival self that's trying to keep us safe. And the survival self part of me yesterday was saying, no, just be safe. Just check off the things on your list and you'll be safe. You'll be good. You'll go to sleep. You'll feel better. It's trying to do a good thing. It's trying to keep me safe. And yet, if I want to go to my next stage of evolution, my next stage of spiritual awakening, my next stage of spiritual enlightenment, if I want to live that more expanded, abundant, prosperous, wealthy, healthy place, I'm going to need to break through that which is still housed in my unconscious mind. And so I say thank you. And so I said thank you yesterday, and I said thank you again today. And here I am recording this episode, and all is well. So as you're listening, I want you to feel, what is a prompting of your soul? What is a prompting of your heart? What are you being called to do? And yes, your limited, conditioned mind might be telling you, no, don't do that. And you are going to take a moment and you're going to soothe that place. That's another feminine aspect of us. We have the ability and the capacity to soothe the places inside of us that get nervous, that get anxious, that get panicked. And so you say to that place, yes, it's understandable that you're nervous. Yes, you've been conditioned to think you're supposed to X, Y, Z. But I'm giving you permission. I'm telling you, have faith, trust the promptings of your heart, trust the promptings of your soul, because this brings us full circle to where I began. I manifest from the soul. I manifest from the soul level, the invisible level. And those promptings are invisible, but they're real. And they would not lead you astray. In fact, they are leading you back home to your most authentic self, to your greatest essence, to your most infinite potentiality. They are leading you home to the dreams that are still alive within you. They are leading you home to your greatest self, to your most innocent self, to your most generous self. So the promptings of your soul, the promptings of your heart, they are bringing you back home to your highest self, to your most divine self, to your most whole worthy self. And often to get there, we are called to take some actions that may be uncomfortable. And when we take those actions, they then become comfortable. What was uncomfortable to me a year ago, when Jamie walked into the room and said, let's go to the beach, yes, I had thoughts, but I'm a different person. I was up, my tennis shoes were on, Within 3 minutes, within 5 minutes, I had apple in hand, water bottle in hand. We were on our way to the beach. So, your takeaways. Manifestation can be effortless when you detach from the results and attach to the invisible qualities of your soul. Listen to your soul. Get to know what your soul knows. Get to know, accept, receive, embody. That if nothing else ever changes in your life, you are enough exactly as you are. You are lovable exactly as you are. Become in like with yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the life that you have now. And everything else can be a desire. You will need nothing. You may desire more. You feel into this expansive state of consciousness. You get to know that feeling. And then, if you are prompted to take actions that your conditioned mind try to put on the brakes and hold you back, you say thank you. Why? I am here to change these thoughts. I am here to take these actions to prove out to myself, to come home to my soul, to reunite with the dreams that are within me, and then to bring them through this vessel to fruition in this physical form. So please come back, listen to this episode often. I will be doing more episodes on effortless manifestation, manifestation from the soul, from the feminine. This is the way that I have really created a truly thriving life. And this is the way that I know you can do it too. If you have received anything from this episode and you would consider forwarding it, sharing it with a friend who does not want to manifest in their life in a very effortless, feminine way. If you would share this, I'd be so grateful. If you would be willing to subscribe, leave a 5-star review. It will take you 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It will so assist this message to get out to more people so that we will experience more thriving individuals on this planet. And remember, healing the heart of the inner child, you heal the conditioned part of you, and you set yourself up to thrive. Much love, everyone, and see you next week. Give yourself permission to thrive this week. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. If there was something in this conversation that spoke to you, we'd so appreciate it if you would take the time to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share this episode with women and mothers you know, because you are here to thrive. See you next time.